What a great opportunity we've had today to hear from Governor Cox about Utah's bright future. It's at this point that we get to kick off Planners Day. You can expect to hear from a lot of experts today, the various practical tools, resources, and techniques we can harness to maximize our state, regional, and local planning efforts to ensure Utah grows effectively. I'm actually delighted to have a few of those experts up here with me now. Michelle Carroll, Executive Director of MAG, Andrew Gruber, Executive Director of the Wasatch Front Regional Council, and fellow Mayor Don Ramsey, Mayor of the great city of South Jordan. They're going to take a few minutes each to run through some of the planning tools that exist and to present some case studies as examples of the success that comes from using these tools. But before I hand the time over, I want to acknowledge the tremendous collaborative efforts of Utah's AOGs, city leaders, and local governments. Utah is nationally recognized for its ability to work together. I believe this is why we've become such a hub for business growth, a host not once, but now twice of the Winter Olympics, and a destination of choice for Americans to raise their families. But with the success has come a challenge: extremely rapid growth. Now more than ever, there exists an urgency in planning for that growth. It's a challenge and an opportunity I know we can rise to meet. And with that, I'll hand the time over to Andrew Gruber.
Thank you very much, Mayor Kaufusi, and thank you to all of the local elected officials and staff and others that are gathered here today for your dedication and your service. And I want to give a special shout out to my friend, Cameron Deal, and the amazing and hardworking team at the League, at your League of Cities and Towns. Thank you. They deserve a round of applause. Now, the governor talked about growth. And we're growing so fast. Growth is our constant companion in Utah, and that has a big impact on our quality of life. Now, the good news is that one of the reasons we're growing so fast is because our quality of life is high. So our kids want to stay here or move back, as the governor said, and other people want to join us. So the question that leaves us with, our ongoing question is, how do we preserve and even enhance our quality of life as we grow? So let me give you 3 basic answers to that question, all right? Number 1, we plan. We plan, and by so doing, we lift our gaze to the future. Abraham Lincoln said, "You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today," right? Our future quality of life depends on the choices that we make and our actions that we take today. And that's what planning is all about. Planning is about determining the future that we want, that you want for your communities, and then taking the actions to make that future a reality. And I want to be clear, there's planning commissioners and planning staff in the room, but I'm not just talking to them. I am talking to all of you. You all have a responsibility to be engaged in planning. So, by the power vested in me, I hereby deputize all of you as planners from this point forward. I have that authority, don't I?
You do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, number 2, we collaborate. We work together. We seek that unity in this beehive of a place that we love so much. And number 3, maybe the most important, we care. We all love this place. We love our families and our friends, and we care about the future of our community and our state as a whole. Now, the good news is that Utahns have always done this. In the face of growth and change, we've come together, we've looked ahead, we've made a plan, and we've taken the actions necessary to have the future that we want. This is in our collective DNA as Utahns. And that approach has been referred to as our secret sauce of collaboration and caring for our community. And in fact, that approach underlies the Wasatch Choice vision, the vision for growth and development in this area of the state where about 80% of Utah's population lives. But in all areas of the state, you can have visions and plans, and some of you do already, and you can develop them, if you don't, for what kind of future that you want to have. Now, the Wasatch Choice vision is based on 4 key strategies. Number 1, transportation choices so people can drive or take transit or bike or walk to get around. Number 2, housing options, as the governor talked about. The types of housing that your residents want and need in the locations that make sense for your communities. Number 3, to have ample parks and public spaces woven through the fabric of our communities. So important for quality of life. And number 4, where they all come together, is to have city and town centers. These are the hearts of our communities, walkable places where activity is focused, where people can live, work, and play. Now, these 4 key strategies are applicable all over the state, and you have to decide how to implement them in your area. And in fact, these 4 key strategies underlie much of the work that we do together in policy, in legislation, and in funding. Let me be clear, I am not saying that this is easy. Okay, dealing with growth and change is always hard, but I am optimistic about the future of Utah and about the future of our communities because I have confidence in all of you and the work that we can do together to chart the future that we want to have. So keep caring, keep collaborating, and keep planning for the future. Now, there's no one size fits all, right? Every community is different, and the good news, as Mayor Kaufusi said, is that there are resources available to you and to your communities to help plan for the future. And to talk about that, I'm going to turn to my friend and counterpart, Michelle Carroll from the Mountainland Association of Governments. Michelle?
Thank you, Andrew. I am thrilled to be here on Planners Day. Thank you. As Andrew said, we are all responsible for planning for growth. Some of us are facing significant growth challenges, but we are all looking for options for land use, transportation, and housing. And so I'm going to highlight a couple of tools and resources that are available statewide for all of us to utilize. The first one is technical assistance funding. These funds are for plans and studies that specifically tie land use and transportation. In the Mountainland Association of Governments region, we have the Technical Assistance for Government program, and every year we invest approximately $1 million into our communities. At Wasatch Front Regional Council, they have the Transportation Land Use Connection program, and they invest between $1.2 and $1.5 million every year. And statewide, UDOT has the Technical Planning Assistance Program, and they have a budget of approximately $1.5 million available for these types of plans and studies. So that's $4 million available statewide for plans and studies for land use that is tied to transportation. And so just to get your ideas turning, a few examples would be active transportation plans, parks and open space, Main Street revitalization, and connectivity. But the list is long for eligible plans and studies. And so if you haven't already, please reach out to the staff of these programs. They're happy to help you brainstorm ideas and refine your project for an application submittal. And now, while funding is very important, sometimes we just need an extra pair of hands, some staff time, and the governor mentioned the Local Administrator Advisor Program, LAA. In 2023, the Utah State Legislature appropriated funds for this program, and it's a partnership between ULCT and Utah's 7 Association of Governments. And so we have LAAs that go into our smaller communities and provide administrative support. Anything from revising or updating policies and procedures, planning and zoning. Really, the idea is to help our small cities city better. To be eligible, you need to have a population of 10,000 or under, be a dues-paying member of ULCT, and not have a full-time city administrative staff. So if you qualify and you're not yet taking advantage of the LAA program, please do reach out to the League or to your AOG for more information. Now, I only had a couple minutes to highlight those 2 programs, but there is so much more. Utah's 7 Association of Governments have programs that are tailored to our region that provide anything from technical assistance, funding, planning, data. So please do reach out to your Association of Governments for more information. Now, Mayor Ramsey, I know that you and South Jordan work very closely with Wasatch Front Regional Council and have had great success utilizing many of these tools. I know we would all love some real-life examples.
Well, thank you. I'll make this quick. We are almost out of time. Hey, a quick little backstory. Our family moved to the city of South Jordan 20 years ago. In October, it'll be 20 years. There were about 30,000 residents in the city of South Jordan when we moved in. We had a large footprint. We didn't have a huge population, and most of the housing in South Jordan, lovely, large lots, some lovely homes, and it all looked pretty much the same. I mean, that's what South Jordan looked like, and it's what it was. At that same time, 20 years ago, the city of South Jordan worked with Rio Tinto Kennecott to create a new neighborhood, a big neighborhood in our city that you all know as Daybreak. And Daybreak is a beautiful master plan community in the city of South Jordan, and it was a lot of work to create something that big, that scope and scale, that size. And using technical assistance and planning assistance from the Wasatch Front Regional Council, the professional experts there, along with our very savvy city staff, we were able to work and create this master plan community and a master development agreement. Many of us went to that class yesterday on how to create something like that. And it was going to change the face of South Jordan forever, and it has. It has. So we have beautiful single-family neighborhoods still in South Jordan. People love it. You want to come and have some animal rights? You can. You want to be on an acre? You can. You want a half acre, a third acre, a quarter acre. If you don't want that, if you want to live on a very small lot, if you want to have no lot, we now have housing types of every kind. And it made our city better. It's a little different. It's different than it was, but it's been very embraced. We don't have anyone hesitating to decide they want to move to South Jordan because we have a variety of housing types. The U.S. Census named South Jordan one of the 10 fastest growing cities in America. It's been that way the whole time I've lived there. And so by diversifying and taking advantage of some of these opportunities to help us figure out this is going to really make South Jordan a little different than it's been historically. But the vision of the leaders that came before we did was that we could create areas around transit that could have a little higher density, that might have a little smaller or a lot smaller lots than people were used to back in the day, but different housing types for every stage of life was the goal, and it is what we've been able to accomplish in South Jordan. Now we're working on a new project that is an urban center, creating an urban center out in the middle of suburbia, the southwest part of Salt Lake County, where we have a bazillion homes, but not many job centers, and we need more transit. We're growing into this. This is our next phase, and so Downtown Daybreak is the name of our urban center in South Jordan, and we're working closely again with our MPO partners with the Wasatch Front Regional Council as we work as a city, as we work with the owners. Now, Rio Tinto doesn't own Daybreak. You probably know the Larry H. Miller Company owns Daybreak now. And as we work together as South Jordan City with all of our partners, we are able to figure out how to do that. This seems to be the right place for us to put a little more density, even more than we originally thought, because it's on transit, and we're bringing in some job centers, and we're growing. This is a process. We are growing up as a community, and we have a lot of good things happening as a result. I firmly believe that because of the job centers and economic development in the right places with station area plans and the HTRZ tool, we've been really taking advantage of those and working closely with our friends at Wasatch Front Regional Council and with our staff to make sure that we get that right. It's going to help our bottom line. It's going to help us keep our taxes low because we're going to be able to make sure we have these opportunities to help supplement and be the income that the city needs to be able to provide the services necessary for our residents. So my advice, my counsel, my thoughts are whatever's right for your community, whatever that looks like. You may go, we never want to be like that. Great. I think at the time there were plenty of people who felt that way in South Jordan too, but it's really become a destination that people want. They can have whatever they want to live in our city, and whatever works best for you, whatever areas, whatever expertise you need, whatever technical assistance. If you're looking at something different, but it seems little, we have never done that in this city. We're not even quite sure how to go about it. The technical assistance is available. Take advantage of it. The state has created additional tools. If you don't have a metropolitan planning organization, as Michelle said, there are association of governments all across the state. Help with these kind of things is available to all of us as we have been elected and tasked and hired to have vision and to look to the future and what we want our communities to look like. Growth can either run us over or we can lead it. I don't feel like I was elected to put out fires. I want to be ahead of it. I want to lead it and ensure that we are continuing to maintain the quality of life in our community. And that's our mission. And I think it should be all of our mission, and we can do it. And if there's ideas you have, there's a lot of help available. So that would be my advice. Seek out the help available if you've got ideas. They might not be as crazy as you seem, and they could be really great for your community. So that's it. Thank you.